2, 1, 2. Hey guys, I'm back. And welcome back to my podcast, Sweet with a Twist. How long has it been? You know what? We're not gonna even worry about that. A lot has happened, let me tell you. So that's why I've kind of been gone. So a lot to unfold. But guys, this is season 3, baby. It's season 3. Can you believe that? I can't even believe that. And this season is going to be, I think, one of the best seasons ever. Maybe not ever, but one of the best ones by far. If y'all guys are new here, I am the host, Skylar Sweet. Welcome. I will be posting on TikTok, Instagram, obviously on YouTube. So if you're not, but I just wanted to get right into this podcast. This season is titled Unfiltered, the College Years. Unfiltered. Okay. Um so this is gonna be juicy, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be a bunch of drama, crazy stories, horror stories, all wrapped in one, okay? I've been wanting to do a season anyway about like life after high school and like incorporating college, obviously, because most people, after high school go to college and stuff. So I thought, why not? So I've been wanting to tell y'all guys some crazy things that have happened to me, and also be vulnerable with y'all guys because I'm not gonna front. Like, college was low-key not my friend. So I have like some heartfelt stories, some, my feelings will be poured out because y'all guys are a part of my life and I appreciate that. And, it's just gonna be everything because, like, I'm human, and yeah, so I'm so excited. Season 2, go check out, like, right now. Right now. But I just wanted to say that college is a whole experience in itself. When they really do say that college is like its own life away from, like, I guess, real life, or like, it's like a separate island. Like, it really is. College is a different experience. I think I'm blessed enough to have experienced some things I wish I did experience, and some things I'm like, that was not what I thought my experience would be. I do overall wish that my college days were longer. As far as like being at a university, joining the sorority I wanted to join, we'll get into that later, and just immerse myself in that. I didn't get that. And then especially when COVID hit, like, so anyway, I just wanted to put that out there because that's what this whole series and season is going to be about. So get ready. So I guess I didn't really think about what episode, like the first one I was going to talk about. I guess let's talk about just first off moving into college. Like I said, that in itself was a whole other thing. So it was, so basically I graduated high school, I think, yeah, in June. Yeah, in June. It was May or June. And, woohoo, it's time to go. Like, I did not cry at my high school graduation. I know a lot of people get emotional, which I guess is when, like, you're really like away from home, or something like that. So I didn't cry. Of course, the people that I saw that day would be the last time I ever will probably see them and have seen them. I have not seen anyone from my high school since we graduated. Okay. Um, I know a lot of my other friends have seen people from high school out and about in real life. I have not. But my whole moving experience was not the best. Um, you're moving in like during no, wait, orientation is in July. It's always like a month before you actually have to move in. Orientation it was fun. Like it was fun. I met a lot of people and I actually saw one girl that I grew up with at a daycare. So I'm the only child and I was, yes, a daycare child. The girl that I grew up with in the same daycare, her mom was over that daycare, and it was just so crazy to see like how many years later, like a long time, like like almost 8 years later to see each other, now in college, and I was just like, wait, it was so crazy. Orientation was fun. It was how long is orientation? Like a week? Am I right? Dude, I can't even remember this stuff, guys. I think it's like a week, and we had so much fun. We got in different like groups based off of I'm not even sure if it was based off of, like last names, majors, or like dorms or not yet. I don't really remember, but this is my group that I was in. Our leader, she was super nice. I liked her energy. And it's crazy because I actually follow my orientation leader on Instagram. I think I followed her after orientation or like during orientation. Um, I don't know. We just got, all of our Instagrams and stuff so we can easily, let's say, contact. The group I was in was great. We also got to experience the Greek life showcase. So basically, is where all the Greek life sororities and fraternities just kind of like perform and introduce themselves. And it was such a vibe. I mean, that happened for like 2 days straight. We were lit, we were turned. Um, I wouldn't change that experience for anything. I really want to go back and experience some more of it. Orientation just altogether was great. Also, during orientation, you do register for your classes, and I'm not a morning person, like at all, guys, at all. And the only thing they had left for the English course that I needed as a freshman was at 8 a.m. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I asked one of the, I think, teachers or whatever staff, and I said, is this the only time that they have for this English course? He was like, oh yeah, because the rest of them are all full. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, great. I am not a morning person, and I had an 8 a.m. class. I had to sign up for it. So that was great. That was great. I was like, get up at like 5:30 to get there at like 7. Um, I did not like it. But I will say, when I have to get up early, I still am not a morning person, but I will get up. I don't want to talk to you in the mornings. I don't like I'm still half literally asleep. Like, leave me alone. Um, so and what made it worse is not that it was 8 a.m., but not my roommates, but my neighbors that were in the next dorm, like behind us, were so loud for like a month straight. I got no sleep. My roommate got no sleep. We were tired. Um, my roommate and I's class schedules were opposite of each other's. Like literally, we never really ran into each other. We didn't have those mornings where we're both trying to share the bathroom. And no, Mondays she had the early class, like the 8 a.m. class. I didn't. On Tuesdays I did. So it was just crazy. And in college, your classes are twice a week. So they normally go like Monday, Wednesdays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, stuff like that. So I was glad for that. And oh, another big thing in college is that because you can like kind of pick your schedule and like the days you want to take courses, is that if you can, try to not have any classes on a Friday. So you can have a 3-day weekend. That's what I did. And I only had like one class, which was my lab class on Friday. But other than that, I had nothing else. So I only had courses Monday through Thursday. Don't play with me. And I loved it. Like I could honestly, I stayed up so late and then I would wake up at like 12. Like I'm talking the best sleep of my life happened in those very days. So, um, yeah, sorry if it's getting a little bit darker. These lights are, I think, dimming. Um, but I want to talk about my neighbors. Like, I want to talk about my dorm neighbors. Okay? Like, so that was a whole nightmare. My neighbors were a nightmare. To my dorm. So basically, if you get a dorm and like you have a roommate, right? They have like these different excuse me, they have these different what's it called? Like systems and ways they pair you up with a roommate. So during the summer, at first I had a roommate and she actually messaged me. She was like, "Oh, you're my roommate." Da, da, da. I was like, "Oh," and I actually got to like get to know her. And then I think a week or two before I had to move in to my dorm, I think I got a message from her saying, "Oh, actually, I won't be your roommate anymore." And I was like, "Huh?" So I didn't have a roommate for like a while, so I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. And if you don't have a roommate, even though you're paying for a roommate, the school either like makes you pay the rate of a single dorm, so like by yourself, or you like they'll find you another roommate. So I thought that I didn't have a roommate. I was like, well, that's just great. I we're moving my stuff in, right? And voila, there's someone else's stuff, and I was like, okay. And then my roommate walks in, and I was like, so yeah, I had a roommate. Um, yeah, so that's a different story, but we got along, so that was great. And we have fun, I guess. So, but my neighbors were boys. I did not know that until I moved in. My roommate told me because her dad saw guys. And the thing is that I thought the floor that I was on was only for girls. So I was like, oh, okay. So her dad actually saw them like go into the dorm behind our dorm. So like we shared the wall. And I was just like, great. I lived on the 17th floor, so it was like only for girls. And select floors where, guys lived on. I guess they must have overflowed or whatever. The first week of class, like I said, was a nightmare. Um, my neighbors were so loud, you could literally hear, like, they were having like parties, like get togethers. It was so crazy. I was like, what are we doing? Um, every night, like, I would wake up around like 3 a.m. and I would still hear them. Sometimes they would even be like banging on the walls. The music was super loud. Um, it was just all around chaos, guys. Like chaos. Um, and it was just all around, yeah, chaos. I don't have anything else to say. I just want y'all guys to know, when you get to college, do not lose your mind. Like literally, do not lose your common sense, because that's what happened. Those guys were so disruptive, disrespectful, inconsiderate, a nuisance to that whole hall. Um, it was just ridiculous. And it's crazy because my college friend to this day actually lived across from these disruptive neighbors that I had. She lived across from their dorm. So she would tell me like she would hear that stuff too, and I was like, no way. She's like, yeah. Um, my floor, the 17th floor, I think was one of the most chaotic floors ever. We had a lot going on our floor. I was not a part of half of this stuff. Let me tell you that right now. I was not a part of it, but it was a lot going on the 17th floor. Okay. Um, and like I said, these disruptive neighbors, the noise and everything went on for about like a month. And then it finally, I think, really stopped around either the end of September or like the middle of September. So, excuse me. So, excuse me, it was just like a lot. And we actually did put in a noise complaint, and the police actually came up there for other reasons too, but that was one of the reasons, because I think my roommate put in a noise complaint, and it was just bad, guys. But that is the story of the nightmare on the 17th floor. um Besides really that, I loved like the dorm life. Like I personally liked it. I don't know, I just really, it was kind of cool. That was the college experience, is to have a roommate, live in a dorm, you know, um, meet people. Uh, yeah, like crazy stuff. Also, the elevators in my dorm hall sucked. um, it was horrible. The elevators were so bad. We almost got stuck. Mind you, this was my 8 a.m. class. It's crazy because I didn't think a lot of, and maybe they were morning people. I wasn't. I had to, I was forced to sign up for the 8 a.m. class. But a lot of students were actually had 8 a.m.s. So I was kind of thrown off. And I was like, wow, okay, a lot of us are up at 6 o'clock in the morning. um, the elevators were just not my friend. They were very scary. Like I said, we literally were stuck for like a little bit. Not to the point of like, oh my gosh, like we're actually trapped in here. No, but like the elevators were not the best shape, and um, the college I went to, the university I went to, actually had this like weird elevator system where this is so weird to me, but okay, so we had 4 elevators, 2 sets of them. So we have one on this wall and one on this wall. I can't remember. I think the elevators on this wall were going to all even numbers, even floors and stuff. The 2 elevators on this side went to the odd numbers, the odd floors. So to get to the first floor, which is where you enter, into the dorm hall and stuff and exit, you had to go to these elevators. And it was so weird. I was like, I've never heard of that before. But it's also crazy because that was kind of a lie that they only went to like odd numbers, because I went to some floors prior that were even, and it took us to that floor. So I don't really know, but I was like, okay, this is weird. um but yeah, that's all I have for episode 1. Sorry if my voice sounds really weird. But I hope you guys enjoyed and continue for more crazy impersonal college unfiltered experiences that I've had. So I'll see y'all guys later. Okay, this is Skylar, and I will see y'all guys in my next episode. Bye.